Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Well, it's good to be back with you. The Brown Beauty is back on duty. It's time for the Jesse T Show. That's right here on a Tuesday in Southern California. Good to have you along with me, Jesse T. Hey, we're on the air and everywhere from the community to the world. Got a little green going on behind me. I feel like I'm in the cannabis reunion here. I'm going to do a unionized cannabis business. I think I got a cue there. You know, this cannabis business in Southern California and California is exploding. I saw a guy about 3 months ago. He had so much money, he didn't know what to do with it. He's making like $400,000 a month cash. Yeah, and he can't put it anywhere because the federal government has no place to put it. They won't let you put it in the banks. Man, those dudes are rolling in the cash. Whoa, we need to do something like that. So I'm kind of getting you guys used to the background here. We got some cannabis palm trees growing. Something like that. All right. Good to have you along with me. Hey, we have got a great show lined up for you today. I told Lee Baby Michaels, I said, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to do the soft shoe show. The soft shoe show. And what that means is that we're not going to talk any politics today. No politics today. Except, well, no politics. No, no politics today. Oh, no political poo-poo today. No, we can't do that. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to watch my daughter play soccer here. Let's see what she's doing. Let me see. My daughter's in Chicago right now, and she's backing up the goalkeeper for the Chicago Red Stars. And you can catch them on where the heck are they here? Let's see where they are. Okay, let's see here. See, guys, I've got my special phone here like we all have, and I've got the app here. I downloaded the NWSL app to watch my daughter play soccer today. They called her back to Chicago because the Chicago Red Stars are playing Sky Blue. And for those soccer moms out there and soccer dads who have daughters growing up, becoming soccer players and playing somewhere in these great United States, soccer, let me tell you, I was there. And now my daughter, Ryann Torrero, she's on the pitch playing in the NWSL. Right now she's backing up. They called her in for the Chicago Red Stars to back up the goalkeeper who's playing right now. And they're in a playoff right now for a playoff position. They're going to try to win one goal in the next 2 games. And if they do that, they automatically secure themselves a 4th playoff position in the championship for 2018 in the NWSL. And that is the largest or the very highest you can go in the world in women's soccer, the NWSL here in America. Every country has its World Cup team. Every country has its international or national team. But the money and the notoriety all happens out of America and the NWSL. And so I'm going to bring it up here, and we're going to see if I can cue in on the game here and see if we can get this thing hooked up. The other cool thing about that is that when you get to the NWSL, I was just doing the math just before the show started because Lee and I were talking about how many girls, young women, actually ever have the opportunity to get to that level. A little history about my daughter, Ryann Torrero. And Ryann went to Village Christian School here in Los Angeles, and she started playing soccer when she was about 14 years old. She became a goalie when she was 14. She actually started playing, about 11 years old, started playing soccer. She's 28 now, so you can kind of get a reference of years. And she was an athlete before then, a gymnast, a basketball player, a swimmer, a terrific swimmer, and she could play power forward too. But she was a brute, man. She takes no guff from nobody, and she gravitated towards soccer though. She played softball too. She was a catcher. She gravitated towards soccer, and goalkeeping became the position that she really just exploded in. And she got hooked up with the probably very best goalkeeper coach in the world today, Ian Foyer, who played 14 years for the EPL, the English Premier League. And that's the highest you can go in men's soccer in the world, is the EPL, the English Premier League, or the Barclays League, coming out of England. That's where those $20 million a year contracts, and you hear about and read about in soccer. And he played there, and then he played for the MLS. He played in New York and Chicago, Philadelphia, and here in Los Angeles. And then he coached the MLS Galaxy here in Los Angeles to 5 championships as a goalkeeper coach. He also coached at Pepperdine and coached at UCLA, and now he's at USC, and he has a private goalkeeping academy. Well, he hooked up with my daughter. My daughter actually hooked up with Ian, and it was really a great match because Ian hadn't coached a girl yet. He was only coaching boys. And so Ryan became his protege on the female side. He did spend time with Hope Solo, but not on a continual basis, year in and year out and year in. Ryan became that. And so Ryan moved into the club team situations and was on the nation's very best youth club team. They won 3 championships. And then she went into high school, and they did very well, moving on into almost making the CIF playoffs in the state. But she didn't have many scorers on her team, but she was such a closer as a goalie. And then she moved into college, and she had 31 of the 301 schools, NCAA Division I schools that play women's soccer, all challenging themselves and competing for Ryan as a goalkeeper. So we went on about 10 or 12 trips that season after senior high school season, and she was still on the club team. Made ODP, that was Olympic Development Program, and then got a full scholarship that she took. She had actually 7 full ride scholarships. 31 schools offered her money, but she had 7 full ride scholarships. And she was a good student, too. She had B's and A's. So she chose Wyoming, University of Wyoming. Unfortunately, it didn't work out there. Then she transferred over to North Carolina, and it worked out there excellent for her, broke all the records. And then from there, when she graduated, she then went to Europe to play in Switzerland, and she played in France and Germany and England and Spain and all around Europe for about 3 years. Came back and played in the triple league, sort of like the triple league of soccer here in Los Angeles. Went to the championship round, and they didn't win. She got injured, and then healed up. They did well again the next season, and then she got her invite to the Chicago Red Stars of the NWSL. Now, there are approximately only 210 women that are playing on 9 teams in the NWSL, and they choose from all around the world. And in goalkeepers, each team only carries 3 goalkeepers, so there's only 27 spots in any given year if you are a goalie to play in the NWSL. Just 27 spots, and they choose from the world around the globe, God's blue-green earth, and she is one of those. So the statistics of making it there are astronomically impossible. It's like winning the California lottery. If you think about it, when you drive by all the soccer fields across America, from sea to shining sea, of young girls and little girls playing soccer, the thousands, 10,000s, hundreds of thousands, millions just in America alone who are playing soccer. If you think about it, and there's only 27 goalkeepers that play ever in one season in the NWSL, well, you can see the magnificent feat that Ryann Torrero has accomplished in her life. And it has not come easy for her. She wasn't one of those people that just, oh, yeah, we want you. Oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, people wanted her, but she had to work very hard to get that. And so proud of that little girl. So I'm trying to bring up the game here. And I had it on, and I don't know what I did with it. I had it going here before, and so I got the app, the NWSL app, and it says live now. So I'm just going to leave it right there and see if I can take it live. Ways to watch. Okay, so I'm going here. So anyhow, that's the numbers that you have running against you, whether you're a field player or a goalie. So the only thing that I can say from a father's point of view is ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I was spending, and this is no lie, with the very best goalkeeper coach in the world. Not the very best coach my money could buy. I mean, I was spending, money was not a question. Not to say that I had, the $1 trillion like Amazon has today, the second $1 trillion company behind Apple. Just 4 weeks ago, Jeff Bezos is now worth $1 trillion, his company. It's not like I had that kind of money, but I was spending on my daughter just in the coaching, the team, the traveling, the hotels, and all of that. We were spending in the area, and this is no lie, about $40,000 to $55,000 a year, easily $50,000 a year, just alone on Ryann Torrero's career. But boy, oh boy, it's paid off. Yep, that's why I don't have a Bentley sitting out in the parking lot here. I got the gray Ghost, but it's paid off, boy. Double major college athlete, double majored in criminal justice and French, and full ride scholarship college athlete, and European international player, and now a NWSL player. You just can't ask for more from a young person, dedicated and kept her nose straight for the most part, and kept her life clean and going forward, and never did any drugs or alcohol or anything like that, and always lived a good life and trained. And she had some issues, but hey, all young people have issues. I still got issues, some people say. I don't see why some people say I still have. Do I still have issues? I don't have any issues. Do I, Lee? No, come on. Tonnage. I don't got tonnage of issues. Okay, I got a few 100 pounds of issues.
Thousands.
Oh, that's not really fair. You are an evil man. You are evil. You know why you're evil? Because you're eating that juicy, red, sweet watermelon in front of me. I know. I swear, God made one really good fruit that is the best frozen, cold, hot, right from the vine, split open by accident, is watermelon. Totally. When we were kids, my friend Fat Michael's dad was a produce guy, right? On a side job. He worked for the 7-Up distribution company. But Fat Michael's dad was on the side. He'd take his fruit trucks out to Canaan Dune Road and Las Virgenes Pass, really, because there were no houses beyond them when I was 10 years old. There wasn't even any houses in Las Virgenes on the way to Malibu when I was 10 years old. But he would get out there with his fruit trucks and these big painted fruit signs, the fruit truck, the truck. This was way before. This was 1970, right? This is way, way back and before anybody was doing that, selling fruit on the side of the freeway. I mean, a long time ago, Mr. Roush. And he would get out there, and he had all kinds of fruit. And we would love when he would go and get his watermelons from the Bakersfield area. He would drive up into Central California with his truck and get a bunch of watermelons, drive them down, and then drop them off at this place that he had a freezer, a big freezer to keep his fruit and vegetables fresh. And some of them frozen. So it was a cold refrigerator and a freezer. And he used to gather up the neighborhood kids, which was Charlie Roush, Fat Michael, that was my friend, Fat Michael, me, Jeff Robeson, and Jimbo. Jimbo was his brother's name. Jimbo, right? I mean, is that like a Louisiana country backwoods name? Jimbo. And he looked like, when I say Jimbo, he looked like a Jimbo to you. Whatever that comes in your mind, that's Jimbo, okay? And he acted like it too. So, and what we would do is Charlie, who was the oldest, and Van would be there. The two older guys, Charlie, who was the oldest, would be on the truck, right? And he would toss the watermelon. We have this watermelon line, like the old bucket brigade, when they would put out the fires in the old towns, the old western towns, when the barn caught on fire. We'd have this watermelon brigade. And Charlie would throw it to Van. Van would throw it to Jeff, to Michael, to me, to Jimbo, and to Gigi. Gigi was the little girl, and she would be somewhere in the middle. And Van would be actually in the freezer. Charlie would be at the truck, the two older boys, right? And we had this procession. And what we tried to do is we tried to get those watermelons going as fast as we could off the truck. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you turn around, you take the watermelon like this, and you go whoop to the next guy and turn around, and you be catching the watermelon. One was in the air when you were boom, boom, right? And the reason why we did that is because here was the rule. If you broke a watermelon, you got to eat it. You got to get at least one. You got to get at least one. If you broke more than one or two, then Mr. Ross would be after your butt with a switch, and he'd whip your butt, right? But that was a tradition. Every summer the watermelon brigade. It was just so great, and so you ate all that watermelon, didn't even give me a piece. God almighty. I got some more. I know, I saw it in there. Anyhow, so that when you start looking at, these young professional athletes, now we're going to have a gentleman come in here, Marcus Peterson, on the 19th, and he tried out this year. Very similar story to my daughter, Ryann Torrero. He tried out this year for the Los Angeles Chargers. What's your daughter's name? Ryann Torrero. Ryann Torrero. Ryann. Let me tell you my daughter. Okay. This is my daughter, right? I come home one day, and she's arguing with Mama T. And my daughter's like, do you remember the commercial or the cartoon, The Tasmanian Devil? That was one of my favorite cartoons because the Tasmanian Devil would go and lay down, right? Where'd it go? Right? And go away, right? Commit havoc where he would touch down and then split really fast. I love the Tasmanian. That's my daughter. That's her. She's Ryann Torrero looking for a place to touch down, a tornado ready to happen. And that's her. So as she grew older, her name is Ryan. Okay? That's what I named her, Mama T and I. And so as she got older, she changed her name. She goes Ryan. NN Torrero. So one day I come home and I see some mail. When we used to have old snail mail, I see some mail that with her name on it. It was a book or something that Mama T bought her, right? And let her buy the book for the first time and put her name on it. The first time the mail, whatever, 14 years old. And she said, I said, Ryann. Who's that? Right? So that was come on in. Have a seat here. And that was a big, come on, have a seat. That was a big ordeal because it pissed me off that she changed her name. And so I used to call her Ryann instead of Ryan. But now I just call her Ryan and I don't call her Ryann anymore. So anyway, wait, good to see you, man. Christopher's in the house, and the traffic beat him up. I know it beat you up. You need something. I heard that Uber is going to start doing cars in the air next year. They have the license in Los Angeles to do it.
Let me sign up now.
Well, I'll tell you, that's the man right there. Lee was telling me because he's like Uber King.
2020. Oh, there you go.
2020, they're going to they got this license from the FAA, and they can't go more than 400 feet, like a drone, right? Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, you talk about the Mile High Club. Heck, I'll take the 400-foot club. The way I'm going these days as I'm getting older, I'll take the 3-inch club. I don't care. Jeez. Sorry, there is a lady present. Well, you're present, but I'm going to keep talking. So, hey, who's here with you? You've got Camille and Ben. Ben. Okay. He's like gentle Ben. I can feel the calmness in him. Right, not like me, crazy man.
Producer and real estate developer. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah. Hey man, I got a piece of land up above the Hollywood Bowl, 1.7 million. It was owned by the guy J. Paul Getty originally, and was owned by the guy who started Boy Scouts of America. And I'm selling it. We have to talk, buddy. Would you come down more often?
Anytime you like.
Okay, because I'm going to make a sale right here, right now. I'm the broker on it, man. I've been doing real estate 40 years, so. Wow, that's the way it is. Okay, Christopher Broughton, everybody in the house with me, and we're here to talk about his career and cool things that are happening that revolve around some baseball. One of my favorite topics to always talk about.
You love this one.
Yes. I love this one, and then it's the boy who knew too much. That's part of the project, and it's a true story. So we're going to get into that. But first, I want to know a little bit about you. So in that respect, I got to move over. Okay. Oh, am I splitting the screen? Right? See, I love it. Oh, okay.
I love it.
Okay, that's all right. It's Italian in me. What can I tell? Yeah, all right. If it wasn't for Lee, I would be completely off the cliff.
Oh man,
he keeps me in line.
So
tell me about you. What exciting things are happening in your life besides this great film and project that you're putting together? What have you been doing lately?
I have been blessed to do what I love to do, which has been the entertainment business all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be music, live, film, or television. And it's been a blessing to be able to do this and to create jobs. The entertainment business is something that will never go away. It's recession proof, because in the deepest of deep recession, we want to get in that dark room and forget about, what's messing with us. Hear that song that takes you away. I can put a song on right now. You can tell me where you were, who you're with, what you did.
Right. And I can't, because Mama T's been in my life a long time. I'd get in serious trouble.
Well, we won't tell her.
Well, okay.
We won't tell her. Turn the red light on.
Yes, thank you.
But it's been a blessing to be able to do this. And I got involved. I've been a writer for a long time, ghostwriter in the business, an actor, producer, director. And I started to look at the projects that we're putting out. And a film is forever. Music is forever. When we move on to the next plane, it's still here. So if the campfires are entertainment, I said, I got to put some good logs on the fire.
Right.
And
Yeah, it's kind of cool, you know, when you look at late night TV or some of these, there's so many channels now from old movies, and you go back to the 1960s, but then you jump back another 20 to the 1940s, then you jump back another 20 to the 1925, 1920s, and these things are running on late night cable TV and things like that. It's cool to see some of those old, though they're dated and stuff, they're still quite entertaining.
You're seeing the technology and see how things keep advancing, seeing the things that come together. And with the new technology that's about to be introduced again into the business, with VR and everything else, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's the way technology. They used to say technology doubles about every generation, right? But now it's doubling every 10 minutes.
Seems like it.
It really does. Especially when you talk to a lot of cats from China and Korea, where they're developing, where a lot of the stuff we don't have yet, and they're doing there already, that we don't get it till a little bit later. Oh, man.
Absolutely. I was invited. I went to speak at Harvard. Before that, we did high touch meets high tech in Hollywood.
Right.
Harvard comes to Hollywood.
Right.
And we talked about all the high tech that's infiltrating the film, television, and music business. And I was lucky to also speak at the UN. And my main topic at the UN was, you know, our treasured possession, which is the youth. I love kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe if we don't touch them now, we lose our future. And these kids are geniuses. And if you don't believe me, hand your smartphone to a 2-year-old and watch them work it faster than you can.
Right.
But here's the problem. We've cut ourselves off from that genius. And the one thing that they have is this wonderful genius, like we were geniuses in their time as well. The thing they don't have, it takes them through the stratosphere, is wisdom.
I was a genius at trying to figure out how to make 25 cents every angle I could.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, I'm still trying to make $25 every angle I could. It's just inflation has caught up with me a little bit. You know, I should go to 250 maybe, right?
Maybe a little bit. A little bit. Just have a little bit. But see, if you stay connected to the youth, you're going to learn about yourself.
Right.
And you're going to have a beautiful future. And I love kids. I love being able to hear where they're going, what they're thinking about, because it also inspires me and where I want to go with this and what I want to do.
So when you were at the UN and you were talking, was it primarily topics about children around the world, what exactly did you talk about to those guys at the UN?
I was there with a Montessori school.
Oh, Montessori school.
And we were talking about, you know, we're building it for them, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And we had 193 kids that were represented there. And their whole thing was to take on the problems that the UN have and put how would they fix it?
How would they solve it from a child's
And it's
point of view?
amazing what they came up with.
It's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really
amazing.
KISS. Keep it simple, silly.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so that was beautiful. And I just talked about how we have to stay connected.
Mm-hmm.
We should be this bridge that keeps them right there. Listen to what they're saying.
Unfortunately, though, in 2018 and this last generation and a half, the bridge has been very maladjusted and violent and very abrasive and very broken and very destructive and very mean. And I've seen that happen in the last 2 generations because I know as a baby boomer, you know, things seem to be getting better. But boy, these last 2 generations, things seem to be getting worse.
Here's the cool thing about it. Then you're the lifeguard. So you hold your hand out and let them pull themselves in. And then you build a bridge with all these other human connections. Let them feel you, you feel them. You got to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I believe everybody deserves to be heard. I don't care where you are, what side you sit on. Let's listen.
Right.
Because we can work it out. And for me with film, since they affect people, with music affecting people, I was thankful to be able to be in a position to do this.
Right.
And to create some projects that uplift people. And even getting to the film, The Boy Who Knew Too Much, which is based on a true story.
Let's talk about that now, because you got a little baseball flow in there too.
Yeah, man. So,
you're still looking for somebody, but we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we got a nationwide search for this kid. So it's about. I met the lady many years ago, Kathy Bird, beautiful woman, and broke down on my front lawn and was talking about her son was possessed and this, that, and the other.
Wow.
And so on and so on. I'm like, no, your son's not possessed.
Right.
He may be, you know, getting these messages, maybe to bring you guys together again, and it's not that. I said, let's record everything he writes, everything he says, everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, the movie is about a kid who's having past life memories of a 1930s baseball player who happens to be Lou Gehrig.
Oh, my mother died of Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS.
There you go.
Yeah. And Lou Gehrig was a gentle man.
Yes, he
Lou
was.
Gehrig was a very quiet man. He was very timid, not shy, but very quiet, very reserved, very, very focused, and he didn't speak too much. And when Babe Ruth used to give him such a hard time, they jab each other back and forth, and Lou would say, well, hey, Babe, I got 100 more home runs than you right now. And Babe Ruth would say, hey, kid, wait till the end of the year. And every year, Babe Ruth had more home runs than Lou Gehrig. But they used to go back and forth.
Do you know why they went back and forth?
Tell me.
I found this out through following this story and recording this
Right.
young boy. Babe Ruth used to live at Lou Gehrig's house.
Oh, really?
Lou Gehrig's mom used to take care of Babe Ruth.
Wow.
So they grew up like brothers.
Really? Yeah.
And then
Wow, I
there's
didn't know that.
The riff is
Yeah.
actually because Lou Gehrig's mom had mentioned to Babe Ruth, I think you stop being a philanderer or whatever. You need to treat
Right.
your daughter well.
Yeah, well, Babe Ruth was quite the party animal of his time.
Because he had a daughter that he
yeah.
didn't take care of, and the mom
No,
didn't
right,
like that.
right.
And that's where the riff started.
Yeah.
But they were close. They were good friends.
So he's having these memories of Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig, he's been able to do things that are just uncanny. And Jim Tucker and Bowman and these experts get involved, and they're thinking, oh, yeah, right, maybe he's influenced by outside things,
Right.
maybe TV or this. And the kid never watched TV.
Right.
From age 2, he would always want to, I was a big baseball player.
Right.
And mom knew nothing about baseball. His dad's from Germany. He didn't know anything really about baseball.
No, they don't know anything in Germany
And so
about baseball.
they filmed him playing baseball, and it went viral. Next thing you know, he gets in an Adam Sandler movie. But this goes on and on and on.
Right.
Right.
Now, this
So-
is all in his dream.
Yeah, this is live.
This is
kid.
what's happening.
This is
It's
what's
this
really
kid.
going on.
Right.
So he would say an address. He knew where Lou Gehrig lived, which was bizarre.
Right.
He pointed out, some other amazing things. He said that I used to ride on trains. He'd never been on a train.
Right.
And all these things were recorded. And I'll never forget, after I started to do my notes, and I told Kathy, we got to do a book. So we did a book, which was released.
Right. You encouraged him to do
2017,
the book. Right.
Got the book out. And I said, I'll make a movie. So we pitched to the studio. And he was maybe about 5 at the time. And he's running around the room. And Kathy's there. Zach's in front of us. And they said, well, can you get him to sit down? Let's talk to him. I said, sure. I said, sit down, Christian. He sits down. And they said, do you know who Lou Gehrig is? And he stops. He goes, of course I do.
Oh, man. Bang.
Creeped everybody out. I said,
Yeah.
I can't teach him to do this.
Yeah. What young child is going to remember anything about Lou Gehrig? Someone 2 and 3 generations before him, right?
Yeah. But if you see him, there's some similarities there.
Really?
He's a lefty. He's got the dimples. He's got all the stuff. It's
Wow.
kind of really uncanny.
Well, I just hope he doesn't have the one similarity.
Oh, yeah. And he's a prodigy, baseball prodigy. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible player. But it's a fun story. The story is that love never dies. And it's something that will always be. Once
It's a family
created.
film, too,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's family film.
I like to see that happening in Hollywood now. Patrick Kilpatrick, Kevin Sorbo. I just spoke with Kevin Sorbo, and he had a huge hit with Hannity. He had backed that one in terms of the budget.
Right.
And it made 10 times the budget.
Oh, yeah.
10 times the budget. And now Kevin, of course, he's been doing these family-friendly projects for years now, ever since Hercules ended. That's kind of where his passion is. But now Hollywood's starting to catch up with it, because in Hollywood, you either have the CGI films, the big explosions and all that, or you've got independent producers, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing in between anymore.
See, my whole thing is that.
And that's a story, and I like stories.
Exactly. You want to touch somebody's heart.
Yeah.
I believe you touch somebody's heart. You make them cry. You make them remember. It's better than a trailer, better than a billboard.
Yeah.
When somebody walks out of that theater, go, oh my God, you got to see this.
Right.
I like action. I like a great love story.
Right.
I like great characters. And I believe if you have a great script, You'll get anybody you want. Great script, you'll make a star.
Right.
So I always start with the script first.
Yeah.
We were lucky with The Boy Who Knew Too Much, doing it with 20th Century Fox.
Right.
They
Was that
loved the
hard to
story.
get them involved, or was it pretty easy for you?
It was a blessing, actually.
Just came together, huh?
Yeah, it really did. The pitch got them from day one. They were just kind of knocked out on it. And they said, this is a really fun story with the action, with the intrigue.
Right.
I call it like Field of Dreams meets The Notebook.
Sure.
It's
That's
that
two
kind of
great
story.
movies.
Yeah.
Two great movies, actually.
So it's got that kind of drama. And you want to see this relationship between, this kid and the mom.
So now you're looking worldwide, nationwide for this child to play this part?
Got to find this kid. And he doesn't have to be an actor.
How old is the real person now?
Well, the real kid right now is 10 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
But the kid, I'm looking for somebody who's, that 5-year-old who has an uncanny ability to play baseball.
To play baseball.
The acting will just come.
Right.
I'm not looking for a trained actor who's like a robot.
Right.
I want somebody who's organic.
Right.
Would you see that kid? I think any movie, you should be able to see yourself or see your kid or see your family member. I think you should be connected to it that way.
Yeah, a lot of producers now and writers and directors, they're not looking for the classically trained young people. They're looking for that reality aspect because, since reality shows started in Orange County Choppers way back when, 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since that started and all that happened, it's the reality aspect. And like in that example, they thought they were going to make a cool reality show about cool custom motorcycles.
Right.
And they took the dailies back and looked at them in the hotel room and said, wait a minute, after 4 days of this, we just wasted $250,000 of shooting. That's not it. It's about the relationship of the crazy family.
Exactly.
And that's what made that so popular. And so the reality of situations is what people are interested in. Real life stuff.
So true. It's like, think John Hughes. John Hughes did movies like Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club, those kind of films. It's when you can relate and it feels like you, or somebody you know.
One of my favorites of that time, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
what a great movie. That's why 35, 40 years later, it's, all those guys are walking around with canes now and look their age, but they forever. He takes the Jaguar out the glass living room door. It's so great because even though they're acting and they were trained actors, but I think today that hybrid that you were talking about, technical wise, but also acting wise, and I've seen it, is give me the real situation and we'll put you in a scripted environment. Yeah. But I want the reality of it happening. And I want to feel that cutting edge stuff. It gets boring, but there's pieces of it that are really exciting when it hits. Yeah.
Right. It's very few films today, I feel, that really get you, make you. People ask me how come that. Yeah, I think it was Panther did so well. I said because I think people connected with the brother-sister relationship, with the father relationship. Yeah. Same. One of my other favorites is Crazy Rich Asians.
I haven't seen it yet.
You got to see it.
Everybody's telling me to see it.
From the word go, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not really, you think it's a sappy, this kind of. No, it's fun.
Yeah.
The characters are great. The story is wonderful.
Right. I think Black Panther, a lot of people said it was because it was the first black superhero and it was all built around African-American actors and all that stuff. No, that wasn't, that may have been one of the hooks that brought in a certain segment of our society and the soundtrack and stuff and the movie itself. But the underlying score was the fact that it was a relationship movie more than it was a superhero movie. That's why Superman... that's why we like Superman and Lois Lane so much. It's because it's that relationship, that love story that's underpinning who these people are.
Just drives it.
And whereas in Batman and all the Marvel stuff, Batman, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, it's just the pizzazz of the superhero character. There's no underlining love story. And Panther had the same thing that the Superman Lois Lane combination. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think there's people. I write movies for women. I love women. Right. So I don't think about dudes. Right. I'm thinking about women because if you hate my movie and your girl said we're going to this, you're going to be in my movie.
If I knew that, I would have wore a blonde wig for you, man. Hey, Lee, we got any red wigs in the back? He's too handsome to give past me. Thank you. Oh, no blood, no.
I love women.
You like brunettes?
I like them all.
Because I'm too gray now.
I like. I think that we have to come together, and I love films that really get you.
Right.
And I find that my sisters, my mom, great strong women out there.
Right.
The women that I work with in the business, I feel this energy and how they're attracted to certain things, and I kind of swing towards, you like that? Okay, this is great. Think about it. You score a touchdown, you go, hi, Dad. You go, hi, Mom.
Right.
Taj Mahal was built for a woman, right?
Right.
Wars are fought because of women. Think about it.
I scored a touchdown. I go, it wasn't me. I'm not here. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Just give me the $25, will you? Wasn't me.
Yeah, we'll
Thank you.
Get you over your athletics, man. You got to come hang out with it. But
I know what you mean. That's true.
It's time, man.
Well, look at the demographic that all advertisers buy in marketing promotion. It's all directed 35, 54 women.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's always been a demographic in TV and radio and everything that you do. It's always 35, 54. They control the budget of the house.
Yeah.
Traditionally, and even today, as a lot of the mores are changing a little bit, they aren't, because when it comes back to it, you have a happy wife. You got to have a happy life if your wife is happy. So if your wife's not happy, or your significant other isn't happy, your life sucks. I don't care how much money you got.
Very true. Very true.
Especially with Facebook, you can't get the hell away from nobody.
Exactly. But we're in a great.
I've been trying to get away from Mama T for 43 years. Goddamn technology has got me going now like shit. I swear to God.
Life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
I just make some guava juice every now and then. Gee. You know this is going to be this kind of interview, did you?
Man.
Sorry, it's being very introspective right now.
It's sort of like a healing going on here. It's a healing going on right now. You've been healed. Oh man.
So how do you go about finding an actor nationwide with all the great talent, and how do you go about even starting that?
Well, number one, you got to open it up.
Yeah.
And I really believe when you open it up to folks and see what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I look for the new. I look for the inspiring. And I always tell people it starts with a great script. Got a great script, you'll make a star. You got a great script, and you'll get anybody you want, pretty much. So the first thing was, I didn't want to look for an actor.
Right.
I wanted a kid who loved baseball.
So do you go to all the Little League games around America? Do you have scouts out there?
We got some scouts out there.
It's like the scouts sitting behind the Little League thing, and they got you on the hotline right here. Oh, man, this guy, man. Yeah, right? I mean, you got
friends
guys on
me.
Your ball, everything?
I got friends calling me. It's crazy. I said, look, I need the little rascals.
Oh, yeah.
I need the real ones.
Wow.
Kids who can play.
Yeah, that's cool,
And there was something very organic about the little rascals. Yeah, they were great on film, but they were real organic kids.
Love them.
And they're out there.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Yeah. I would imagine there's so many of them.
Man, they're smart.
To find so many good ones, you're going to go through a
great
lot.
Players.
It's like America's Got Talent or something, or like, whatever, one of those shows.
I had a little 4-year-old kid come into the office. He says, I'm ready. So what are we playing? And, I'm like, where'd this little person come from?
They got
he
no
was
fear.
Incredible.
Got no fear.
Yeah, he was just a beautiful little spirit.
Right. Got
so
no fear.
I'm having a great time, looking for that and putting it together. I have some other projects we're working on as well. I have another project called Live, which is a suspense thriller.
Really? Now, what's that about?
Oh, man. It's about a famous doctor who can heal people without the use of medicine.
Wow.
And he's got 8 people he keeps in a circle. He's working on them to make them better. We quickly find out that these 8 patients have all died and come back with different gifts. Gifts seeing the past, gifts seeing the future, gift hands laying on people, making them feel better.
Yeah.
He uses their gifts to help outside the group.
Oh, wow.
So it gets better than that. He hasn't told them when he was a kid he drowned and somebody brought him back. That's
so
how
he
can find
So
them.
he has
so he's got a gift to find them.
Ah.
Everything's going great. So he takes an 8-year-old little girl who came out of a coma. He brings her in the group.
Mm.
And he wants them to help her speak because she doesn't speak anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He believes if she speaks, he'll have another key. He can see what she saw on the other side, and he can help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time she speaks to somebody in the group, that person dies. She speaks to somebody else, that person dies.
Well, that's a twist.
Then she disappears. So now he's trying to hold the group together, protect the research.
And find her.
find her before it can happen again.
Sounds like Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but what he doesn't know, he's on life support systems dying. She's from the land of the living, trying to bring him out because he's the only person that could help her, and that's not the spoiler.
Where does this guy get these stories? I mean, you drinking too much blue Kool-Aid or something?
You got to come with me, man.
Man, I'm telling you, I got to hang out with you.
This is it, man.
Man, your mind is just like if and all the time. If this and if that and if this happens and if that and right. I mean, right? You're answering that question.
But it grabs the heart.
Yeah,
it grabs the heart.
Yeah.
It's I had done some research many years ago where it came from, and I was dealing with writing stories about people who had died and come back on the operating table.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Sports
field. That stuff is really
fascinating. So
paranormal stuff like that is real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And, hey, we don't know what goes on. The only people that ever seen heaven or hell are the dead ones. And I can't talk to them. Even though,
but maybe you can.
Oh, maybe I can. Well, that's kind of a weird thing.
It's kind of spooky. You got all this electronic stuff here. Just try it someday when nobody's in the studio. Maybe not.
Mom, I need $25.
It's always money. That's how come they're not answering.
Is that it?
They don't need money where they are, man.
That's right. I thought they
your own.
Oh,
they said ask for anything else.
Well,
they can help you with the guava or something,
Yeah, I sure need some guava, baby. Crazy, I know. So you got lots of things happening, lots of cool stuff going on. It's cool to have a lot of things happening, isn't it? It's good to be busy.
Well, not just busy, but including people, making them a part of, what you're doing.
Putting your team together and stuff like that.
Done. Yeah. It's been.
Is that part of what the exciting aspect of producing and directing and writing?
It is.
And the acting's fun, but I mean, is it part of? George Lucas says the whole fun part about it is taking an idea and actually seeing the finished product, and you have no idea how you got there, but it got done, and it was a great journey. That's what George says.
Whenever you do a film, you get a new family.
Right.
And it's not me. It's not you. It's a team of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was teaching a class once, and we were talking about, students have to, show their film, and we grade them on the film and the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And one kid who's, his parents are very wealthy, and we're watching this film. He had the best film in the class.
Yeah, of course.
Got all that money.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it. I said, stop right. So this is really good. Wow, there's over 1,000 people in those credits. Now let's think about the people who didn't get the credit.
Yeah.
So it takes all of those people to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
The lady who works with me, she's my craft service.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how brilliant she is.
Oh, you got to feed your people, right?
She's so passionate about what she does. She knows that my DP likes salt in his coffee. Before he could finish that one, there's another one in his hand.
Wow. See, that's
she
good
knows
stuff,
how to get
man.
this. She keeps everything clean.
Yeah.
If she wasn't doing that, he wouldn't be happy.
No.
Or he'd have somebody go get it and slow the production down.
Yeah.
So there's other people, my PAs, my grips.
Right.
All of the other backline stuff that people have nothing about. They don't know
My
anything
grandfather spent 51 years at Warner Brothers. He was hired by Jack Warner in 1938. And he spent 51 years on the lot. And then being on the lot, he was a Scot-Irishman. I'm Italian, Spanish, Mexican, Scot, Irish, French, German. I'm just a mutt.
Heinz 57.
I'm look at, I was born in the back alleys of Chicago. And
oh, man, that's a song.
Yeah. Ooh. Born in the back alleys of Chicago. Lee doesn't think I know how to sing. Well, I try.
Try is good.
Okay. God, I can't get away with nothing with this guy. I'll sing "God Bless America" if you don't, or "Star Spangled Banner," and I'll make. Okay. All right. But you think I could destroy the Democratic Party if I went and sang "Star Spangled Banner" at their convention?
Oh no.
Yes, well, I told you we're not talking about politics today.
No politics.
You liberal,
man. Whew. That's a good time. Man. So your dad worked, or your uncle
my grandpa
worked
did, and he got on with the John Wayne clique.
Ooh.
My grandfather was a truck driver, Teamster's truck driver.
Oh yeah.
He was on the lot, and he eventually ended up retiring. He was in the greens department on the lot. And those are the guys that bring the plants to the stage.
Absolutely.
And then they go sit in the truck and fall asleep all day long. Okay, especially when they're 80 years old and working on the lot for 51 years.
Good job.
Okay, so when he got in the John Wayne clique in the 1960s, because that John Wayne was like made. I mean, Warner Brothers itself was making 600 films a year at one time. Just Warner Brothers itself, and my grandfather worked on all those. So, or a good number of all of them with the cranes. I mean, he could operate anything that was big equipment. Cut a long story short. Anyhow, got part of the John Wayne clique, like you were talking. The camera guys, the cable op pullers, the grips, the gaffers, the lighting crew, the catering crew, the security crew, the actors, the extras, the ADs, executive associate producer. Everybody was the same.
Yeah.
Everybody was the same on every single film.
Absolutely.
And you get comfortable with a group of people. Is it like that now?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
can you keep a cohesive group like that together now, like you used to be able to?
It makes some of the best projects out there. I got lucky to work with Quentin Tarantino.
Oh,
I did.
Nice. I spoke to his dad.
The Django.
Yeah.
With him. Because Jamie Foxx and
I mean, you're Jamie Foxx's second double. You could be Jamie Foxx.
Oh, yeah. So Jamie says, come on,
couldn't you be Jamie Foxx?
Thank you. Next week, I'll be Denzel. The week after that, I'll be...
You could be Denzel, too.
But it's funny because I watched Quentin do his thing, and he runs around with his same crew where he goes, and it's part of his magic. The same thing if you look at a lot of the greats out there, there's a magic with them and how they travel with those folks. And you get close to those people that you work with, and they become an extension of your family, because you're making something that is actually affecting a world. It really is affecting a world, and it's touching their hearts. It's making them feel a certain way. It's doing something to them, and you go, I worked on that. I had something to do. It's like a team.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It is a lot of fun.
Seeing the stuff you did years ago, and you see it now, and you see it, and you go, and you're not ready to see it. It just comes on, and you see it, and you're surprised, and you look at it. Do you sense and see how you have grown?
Yeah, and laugh. And think, oh man, I'd never do that again.
And then don't go out your front door for a couple of days, right?
Yeah.
But actually, it was really good at the time that you did
it. Absolutely. Because you look at it, you see how you've grown, you look at different things that you've done. Also, you look at things, I got to go find that guy. Where is he?
Right.
So it's all of those things that, and I think that you got to keep loving on people. Love isn't love until you give it away.
Right.
And we've all been blessed with our own individual talents and our own gifts, and nobody can take that from you.
Right.
So don't feel like, oh, let me get my foot in the door. Don't feel like, oh, let me get here. Bring people along with you. Bring people along with you so they can love on you. I think of people like Robin Williams. I had a chance to work with Robin Williams.
Really?
And we weren't buddies or anything, but I'd always, hey, how are you? Hey, you doing? You still working? Because I used to stand up.
Right.
And I enjoyed his talent. But I think of people like a Robin Williams, and I think Robin should still be here.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what happened there,
man.
man.
Who love you.
Yeah.
Come and talk to people. Please interject. Be a part of those people in your life. Don't think that, I'll get to it tomorrow. Think about now. You think of somebody, they come into your head, give them a call. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, well, it's interesting to hear Paul Mooney talk about Richard Pryor.
Ooh, boy, yeah.
Because they smashed the doors down Hollywood together at the same with those two guys.
They did.
And, it's interesting to hear him talk about Richard from a different point of view. And, there's a lot of good people that should still be here. And you just kind of question yourself, what happened? What went wrong here?
We just got to keep loving on each other and realize tomorrow's another day. It's not worth arguing over. It's not worth, anything. Right. I don't like to go to bed angry. I don't like to see people in positions where they're hating on one another or doing things. I'm like, let it go. Come
That's one of the hardest things to learn, though, as a human being, is to let it go.
Oh, yeah, because the ego.
I have a hard time with that one.
That ego.
Letting it go. Yes,
that's
right.
the ego that gets you. As Wayne Dyer used to say, it stands for edging God out,
Right.
So you let
That's
the
true.
ego go.
That's right. Absolutely. So how do people get in touch with your organization if they have a young baseball player who they want to throw your way and let you take a look at
Here's
it?
an idea. They could reach me on Instagram.
Okay.
Because I'm getting bombarded everywhere else.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
hit me on Instagram. You can go to Christopher,
Right.
CHRISTOPHER, last name Broughtton, BROUGHTON 1.
I'm glad you remembered how to do that.
Instagram, I guess. And they could reach me on Instagram.
Do you have the management company or agent that's handling a lot of this influx of young people
We have a
looking for
casting
talent?
director that's out there looking for talent.
Do you want to give that person?
No.
Okay.
They can find me on Instagram because
That's the best way, right?
Yeah, if I'm on Instagram, and I mean they could see this actually in the paper too. You could see, the boy who knew too much, and they could find where it is. Sheila Joffrey is doing a great job. Oops, said the name. Anyway, so she's out there, and then also my PR company you could find. Esperanza, they will also send people to me.
Good.
And I try to lay my eyes on who it is out there so I can get them into the right places so we can see stuff.
Right.
And a fun picture.
Man, I wish we could have spent more time together.
Oh, I'll come back.
That darn L.A. traffic.
I'll come back.
It took you. Where were you guys coming from?
We were fighting through Hollywood.
Just from Hollywood to
just
here.
from Hollywood here.
It's amazing.
It was crazy. So we took the surface streets, of course. But,
it's still packed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you know the back alleys and crossing gas stations like I do.
I'm following you.
Yeah, I mean, I used to run away from sheriffs and cops all the time.
Oh,
so, man. I mean, you got
streets of San Francisco.
Yeah, it was. Except they didn't have the Carl Malden nose. That big giant nose, man. But seriously, but good. Yeah, it would have been great to talk to you another half hour. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll do it again. We have to.
But we didn't even get to talk about music. We didn't get to talk about
music.
Yeah, I know.
Music.
Do we got any more time? You got a minute or so? A couple of minutes?
Oh, good.
Tell me some music. So what's going on with music for you now?
I have been having a ball with the music. Working with Chico Bennett, my son William Broughtton, who is a graduate over at Cal State Northridge, and we're working on another project called
it's alma mater. That's where I graduated from.
Oh, man. But the music, I tell people, you've never seen a movie without music.
No.
Even silent movies had music.
Sure.
So I pay attention to it and what it does to you, because it's not the sharp that scared you. It's those
you like that
notes.
Latin kind of style music, too.
Yeah, I got a Latin family.
I know.
I love that flavor. I love that energy and how, the Latin style gets you.
The rhymes, the rhythms, the movement.
Oh, man, come on. The calypso, any of that stuff, come on.
Some cumbias.
Oh, all day long.
Merengue, some salsa too in there once in a while.
See, now we're going out tonight, you guys.
Yes. I'm definitely going to put the red wig on.
Yeah. Lucy. All right.
Lucy! Desi actually was the financial genius behind Lucille Ball.
They were the largest minority production company in the world at one point.
I know.
And
he was unbelievably successful. Because of Ricky.
We have residuals.
Yeah,
I know. People don't know that. He started
Ricky and
that
Lucy
for us.
started that. Yeah.
Great people. But I want to do the music when I come back, man. I'll bring you some of the stuff
we're
working on.
We didn't even get a chance to cover that. We just ran out of time. But I mean, come on back. I mean, I'll hook up with your PR people.
They're gonna love. I got some Latin artists that you
love
never
to play
heard.
some of your Latin stuff, man.
Kill it. Some of my R&B guys, some of my rock and roll
See,
guys.
I'm telling you, there's a whole realm of stuff we didn't get.
Because we're using soundtracks
to
bring out new stars. Let's forget about the radio.
Yeah.
Let me put you on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Let me get you that emotion so you can really touch people.
Right.
So
plus that Latin flavor is happening all across America now.
Oh yeah.
It's exploded in the last 25 to 30 years.
That certain thing we got.
Yeah, I know. So I've been telling everybody my whole life is that a certain thing I got.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. What's wrong with you? Huh? Come on. Baby, I've been just trying to find some love and feeling for the last 4 or 5 years.
I think you're doing just fine.
Oh,
man.
Don't tell Mama T.
I won't tell.
Okay. Shh. It's our secret.
Guava juice is waiting.
Christopher Broughton, everybody. Hey, man, thanks a lot for stepping in.
It's been a pleasure.
The movie again, hit it hard real quick.
The Boy Who Knew Too Much, 20th Century Fox. Myself, Christopher Broughton, and my partner, Devon Franklin.
Yeah, man, get your stuff out to his Instagram. If you got a young child who likes to play some ball, hey, you just might be the next superstar right here on the Jesse T Show. We got to have you back. We'll talk music then, because there's a whole nother realm of possibility to get into here.
Liv's got all the music in it. I'm healing people with music.
So
music is
always
I
been
got a
in there.
studio. It's open 24/7.
It's the Jesse T Show right here, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6.
Jesse
Yeah,
T.
baby. We're here. And the Brown Beauty's off duty. See ya! Anybody got 25 cents at least?